everyone. Happy Tuesday. This is Tara with Tara's Tuesday Talk, and I am delighted because we have special guests today visiting with us. This is Anne and Kevin Dykstra. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Glad to have you here today. And you guys have been partnering with Identity Mission for quite a while now. And I have personally got to hang out with you in person in Honduras and loved every moment. And so I just wanted to have you on today's talk so you could just share with others your journey in partnering with Identity Mission and falling in love with Honduras and all of the things that are dear to your heart for missions. So if it's okay, we'll jump right in and I will start with some questions. How does that sound?
Super.
Fantastic.
Great. So why don't you just go ahead and tell us a little bit about your love for Honduras and how that connected you to Identity Mission. Tell us anything you want.
We originally started on a vacation to Roatan Island, which we didn't know anything about. Someone just told Kevin about that was where we should go. And while we were there, we fell in love with the people and the island and everything about it and felt like, well, maybe we wanted to give something back. And so we Googled orphanages, and that's how we connected with you. And we didn't hear from you until we got back to the States because of internet issues. But it was just, I would say, God directed. Our daughter told us if we wanted to help in a foreign country, we should find a program that was already going on and successful and doing the things that we were looking for to support instead of trying to start something from the beginning. And that's when we connected with you and found out what you were doing. And it was just what we wanted to support. So here we are.
Awesome. I love that. I love how God puts those pieces together. And I think it's really important what you said, that if you can find someone doing what God's laid on your heart to do and partner, it does just impact the program even more and expand what he's doing. And we love that he brought you guys to us because it's been very special for us. And you guys really partnered. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Was our first project together Esmeralda? Was that, or was there one before that?
There was a mom that had to have special formula, I think was our first one. Michelle, maybe?
Yes, that sounds right. So you partnered when she got a baby in care and supported formula. And then grew from that into a family preservation project that without you guys really wouldn't have happened because you helped us totally relocate a family from an unsafe area, build them a house to have them all together in a safe location, and you got to come and see it. So maybe just tell us a little bit why family preservation just rung true when we started partnering on that big project together with Esmeralda.
I guess my preference is there's the old adage, teach a man to fish versus give them a fish type of deal. And this program lets it's more than just giving, charity specific items of food, clothing, and whatever, but allows them to develop a home and preserve a home, just like you said. It involves specific material item, which happens to be a house, but it gives them a start and home base and a benchmark to preserve the family, I guess you would.
Right, exactly.
To become self-supportive via her home, she was able to open up a shop out of her home, and then she was able to be supportive of herself and her 4 daughters. She was a widow. So
I guess the other thing is that along that same lines is some of the local Honduran people, told us to not provide charity as far as, the kids on the beach and along the roads that could be exploited by even their mothers to strangers and whatever, that just giving them outright
might not go to the family or to the child,
or it is emphasizing not good behavior, versus following all the way through to, in this situation, to again the benchmark, and you're providing more than well, you don't know what you're providing as far as to the kid on the beach or the person along the house or along the road or whatever. Where you do know that every dollar you're doing here is providing something that's material and will last forever and make a difference in somebody's life that you're intending to make a difference in.
Right.
And the guidelines that you have in the program to help them learn to become self-sustainable, and the guidance that you give along the way is spot on. I mean, it's just like it really teaches someone to be able to take care of themselves, and then they graduate out with, and that's what you want. Because if you can teach someone how to live and be sustainable for their family, and then you can support the next family that needs that direction and that guidance, that maybe just because of poverty they weren't able to rise up above it because that had held them down for so long.
Right. Appreciate it. You guys could share about our program better than us now. I love it. Right on target. Yeah.
The other thing is getting to visit Esmeralda, seeing where she lived. I think you said the second worst part of the area, and then when she got to move up to where her home was built for, seeing the stages of that. And when we went to visit, not knowing that she actually sold shoes for her business, but I had brought 2 suitcases of shoes because that's what our church had gathered for another project in Haiti. And they only wanted tennis shoes. They didn't want the rest of them. And so I brought them all along, and that was just exactly what she needed. I didn't know, but God knew.
Yeah, so, I love that story.
Yeah, and then sitting there in her house, being so blessed by her prayers for us, we got way more out of that than giving what we did. So
right. It is. It's well, she's an amazing woman, but I love the partnership that it created for us. We really felt like we were working together. It didn't feel like a handout. It just felt like a hand up, and she held our hand the whole way. And it just, I love that. And I love that you guys got to do it all together. Just a really neat way to see how the Lord brings the body of Christ together. And you're right. She graduated the program, and she's independently taking care of her daughters. And so it really was just meeting that need, providing some training, and then she's able to, have the dignity of being the mom that provides for her house, for her household, for all her girls. And I love that. And I love the God stories behind all of it. I've got another question for you. What would you share with others who are looking to find their role and personal mission in orphan care? How could you help them kind of along that journey that you guys have done so well?
I'm sorry, I didn't know that was a question, so I'm not prepared.
That's all right.
You answer that? No, just kidding. It's kind of me.
I think that. Did you have?
Go ahead. You're
put you on the spot. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just along for the ride.
I think what we talked about in the beginning is finding a program that really God leads you to, and really being open to what He is saying. That's already, for us, it meant something that was already up and running. And after visiting you guys, there was no doubt in my mind that totally God-driven, God-led, and He's provided above and beyond in so many ways. I think back to when we had the last morning when I stayed a couple days with you, and we talked about, I asked the question of you, what in our morning devotions, what is your God-sized prayer for identity mission in Honduras? And nobody said anything for the longest time. And, Jorge said for the government of Honduras to take on foster care for orphans versus orphanages. And then 2 years later, when I'm visiting and we're on our way from the airport to see Esmeralda, and I said, so what's been happening? And he said, oh, we have this new pilot program with the government. And I'm going, do you guys remember when we prayed about that? It was just like, I don't know. I mean, we have amazing God, and we don't realize, we don't stop to think about how He provides all these things that are needed if we just ask. And the work you're doing, is just so exciting, and is changing the lives of people And if you think of it in even a broader sense, if you change one person's life at that level, that they're not dependent on someone else, or they don't have to leave the country to support themselves. I mean, you're making a difference that's going to go on for years for the whole country. And I think that's awesome.
Right.
So I guess I said I didn't mention there's other things, other good projects out there, but for someone to look for where God is at work and then go to join him there, because he calls us to help. He says a religion that is pure and faultless is taking care of the orphan and the widow. So those are kind of in James 1:27. That's kind of one of the things we like to help with. So, and the whole program of providing children a home instead of just an orphanage, to grow up in a family and have a family and know that their identity is in God. That's their father, even though they might not have a father here on earth. That's awesome, your whole program. So
thank you guys. I think I'm going to take you to churches with me. You're going to be able to share.
Well, remember, we tried to do that.
Trying to do that. We're still getting there.
Then COVID came.
Personally, I'm just doing this because you paid me $10,000 to do this advertisement. So.
Well, listen, no, remember what? Yeah. I think you just needed something to do for your birthday. Remember the birthday fundraiser?
Actually, that was, I had to try out this Facebook thing and when I turned something over 39, I thought, do this.
39.
I can't remember. Yeah, whatever Facebook calls it, donating for your birthday or whatever.
You knocked it out of the park. And I think that's just so great to think. I mean, I think sometimes we complicate it too much. Like we can use our birthday, we can use the church we're in, we can use our vacation trips to just tag on and ask God and let God open doors.
That's, for being if I remember right, we raised half of what we needed to do her church or her house project.
Right.
On your birthday.
From the birthday thing. Yeah.
And hopefully it was a joy for others to be a part of it and hear the story and know that they were a part.
I trusted it was.
Yeah.
Well, he had fun doing it.
Yeah, it was fun. Well, thank you guys for joining me today. Thank you for sharing your story and your journey in missions and orphan care. And we just know that God's going to keep blessing it and opening doors for us to keep working together and having fun and getting you back over here to Honduras. Get COVID.
Yes, as soon as we can. Sooner than later.
Airplanes will start flying south again.
Right. They are. Well, they cancel them all the time.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I guess they turned them around and sent them back to the States. They couldn't land because of the rainstorm or something.
Rainstorms again?
On the island,
we had
anyway.
a little bit of weather this last week, yeah. Oh, goodness. Well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you being on.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
God bless.